Hello my dear YouTuber friends, and I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video. Over the past couple of days I upgraded my GPU, my graphics card. I upgraded from an 8GB to a 16GB graphics card, which I'll talk about in this video. Has it been worth my time and money? Well, I'm going to show you that in this video. I'll actually give you a bit of advice or a bit of a review of the 5060 Ti graphics card that I upgraded to and show you its performance. So let's not dilly-dally. Let's get on with this video. So here is, at the time of me recording this, my brand new 16GB 5060 Ti graphics card. It's actually on sale via the Nvidia app because of Gamescom. By the time you're watching this, that sale is probably over. It's on sale for $389, about £389, which is very competitive for this card. They're usually going for £450 plus. That's why I actually just pulled the trigger and thought, yeah, I'm not going to find it at that price again anytime soon. So yeah, I think I got a good deal on that. Keep in mind, I can sell my graphics card for roughly about £150. My 4060, I've still got a box for it. So around £150 for that. So essentially, what's that? Just over £200 if you factor all that in. As you can see, it's the Inspire 2X. It is the 16GB. I hope it's not got my address on there. It hasn't. There you go, 16GB GDDR4 memory speed as well. It's actually got really quite good reviews, this graphics card. The only thing that was holding it back is that the AMD costs less generally than that graphics card, but because I got it at that price, the AMD cards cost around the price I bought this at. But this generally does better. How well it will do in Flight Sim 2024, we'll have to see. I got a fairly new monitor recently. Excuse the beeping in the back, hopefully it wasn't my mic. It actually turns out to be a 4K monitor. The resolution is on it 4K, I thought it was 1440p. I'll have to see. Generally, I'll be trying to fly in 1440p. The monitor does adapt to 1440p as well, thankfully. And we'll just see if there's any improvement with my current CPU. I am looking to upgrade my CPU now I have this, because I'll be severely hampered by my 5500 AMD chip, CPU chip. But we'll just see with this in whether things will improve. So before I show you what improvements I made with my 5060 Ti, it's prudent to show you how my current system, at the moment anyway, my 4060 8GB performs in Flight Sim 2024. Flying around quite a busy area, San Fran. As you can see, lots of buildings, lots of, I think these are NPC boats in fact down there. Pleasure craft, why not? But there's lots of players in the distance there as well. And as you can see, with the current settings I have there, give you a quick show, I've got it in live weather as well. Full screen, 1440p resolution, TAA anti-aliasing, so not a super resolution. I do have frame gen on. Render scaling is 1440p. And if we go to custom, buildings and rocks and grass all high, ultra weather. The rest are just medium settings. So that's what I'm running on at the moment, and it performs actually okay. It's smooth enough. I would like those frames to go up. I can often get over 50 frames. I am recording with Shadowplay NVIDIA GeForce Experience. And that can knock frames off. It's interesting lights there. I think that's just weather effects. As you see in the cockpit there, no problem. But 40 to mid 40 frames. It's quite a busy scene outside, so I'm getting sort of I know high 30s to 40s. It's very smooth though. 1080p, I was getting well over 60. If I put super resolution on, I can do it in this aircraft. Makes the dials look a bit funny, especially your autopilot panel numbers. I don't have it on at the moment, but I prefer to have TAA resolution. That's kind of like the golden rule. Especially when you're flying glass cockpits, you don't want super resolution on until they fix it, if they ever do. Is that lightning I just saw? This weather front's really coming over San Francisco and it looks absolutely dramatic. But you can see there, even with ultra weather, busy scene, quite smooth, just not quite the frame rate I would like to reach. And if I want to go higher settings, I've got to, you know, my frame rates will suffer. That's with the 4060 8GB. Let's see what it's like with the 5060 Ti 16GB installed. So here we are with my new graphics card, the 5060 Ti 16GB in my system. And as you can see there, top left, see the frames have gone up quite dramatically. Same settings, in fact I think I bumped up the LOD, so there you go, 1440p, same as render, frame generation on. I'm going to turn it off in a moment, just to show you something. But you know, same settings there. I've just bumped these up a little bit, and I can bump them up higher now with this card, because I've got plenty of wriggle room. And just let the graphics settle there. By the way, when I'm recording with GeForce Experience, it does absolutely knock at least 5 FPS off. So typically I'm sitting in the 80s in my frame rate over here. See a bit of low cloud here. Just let me jump in the cockpit and we'll reduce our altitude. That's better. Pull back the throttle. There we go. Yeah, you can see top left there. Frames are higher, well over 70 frames now, which is more than enough in the cockpit. Let it just settle. Similar frames coming up to a busy San Fran. Let's take a look at the airport behind us. Still over 70. Lots of things going on behind us there. And recording as well. So yeah, quite a big bump from... Now don't worry, when you get a micro stutter the frames will suddenly drop and then build back up again. When the micro stutter stops, there you go, 70. Let me just turn off frame generation, because people can see that as a bit cheaty. Oh yeah, I don't, it's there, why not use it? Just let the frames settle. See those frames now, that's pretty much what I was getting when recording with my 4060 GPU. Come back over San Fran, let the frames settle. Feels very smooth. So that's without frame gen at 1440p with the settings, as you can see. Settles around 40 when I'm not recording, I'll say mid 40s. Which is absolutely fine, but you know, these cards have frame generation. And you know, I can mess around with some of the settings. Difficult one to judge without when I'm recording, because you're not getting the true nature. There we go, let's come up to San Fran here. So I've got room there. Very, very smooth there indeed, with frame gen on. With and without, in fact. But as you can see there, yeah, frames typically sitting within the 80s in this. Now, there's a bit of a caveat there that I'm using a CPU that's probably not best paired with this graphic card. It's a Ryzen 5 5500. All my computer specs, I'm going to start putting them in the description of my videos because people keep asking me. It's a 5500 Ryzen 5. that CPU needs to be upgraded. I'm not rushing yet because I'm quite happy generally with the performance I've got at the moment, but I want to do more VR stuff. I'm not going to put VR performance in this video. I'm going to leave that for another video. Join the Discord if you want to know how I'm getting along with VR as I'm testing it. I'm quite optimistic even with this setup I'm going to get good VR performance in Flight Sim 2024. I'm quite looking forward to trying that out properly. There you go, flying over San Fran. Add a few more frames on top of that because I'm recording. Absolutely no issues at all. Looks fantastic. And these will be pretty much, I might bump up a few more settings. And then eventually look at a new processor to go with this. Quite happy with that indeed. Notable performance jump with this new graphics card from my old one. Not only in feel, generally, flying around New York before, not recording, high 80s, absolutely no problem, lots of people flying around. Yeah, quite happy with that. Right, let me take you to my conclusion and recommendations. So, conclusion and recommendations. No, your eyes do not deceive you. If you look at the top left there, typically over 200 frames with high settings in Cyberpunk, another AAA game. Good reason for that. I'm running the latest 50 series GPUs. If we go to settings, you're able to do frame generation 4x. It's basically 4 timesing your native display speed. Maybe a little bit less than that. But as you can see, and it's quite smooth, no issues, not much latency, if any. Yeah, I can get away with that. No need to go that extreme, to be honest. 2 times frame generation is more than enough. Now, if I took frame generation off in this title, I have to do a restart off Cyberpunk to get a proper reading. But I'm typically running without frame generation, high settings, 1440p, 60 to 70 frames without recording. And they say that's a good baseline for frame generation. Put your gun away, mate. Can I put this gun away? Oh, well, I'm sure it'll go away eventually. But that's frame generation times 2. Typically over 100 frames without, when I'm not recording rather. And there we go. Actually, this is the part I want to go to. Let's just stay here for a moment. I can actually bump the graphics up on this. Let me just show you what I'm running in Cyberpunk. So there you go, all high settings, 1440p. There we go. Let's put some ray tracing on. Just going to turn path tracing off for a moment. I will re-enable that in a moment, because that's the good thing that you can do with this graphics card. There you go, just with ray tracing on. Typically, once again I'm recording, so add a few more frames. Typically settling within the sort of mid to high 90s with ray tracing on 1440p high settings. I'll take that. Let's just get to a certain point here. This puddle we do. Now you can see that puddle. You've got reflections of the lights above us there and our surroundings. Just keep an eye on that. I'm just going to put path tracing on. Couldn't do this with my 4060. That's just really to show you what this card's capable of. There you go, with path tracing. You see now, the reflection of that is the most perfect reflection. And just the softness of that path tracing with the world around you. Yeah, it really elevates Cyberpunk to new levels, path tracing. Look at that. Looks absolutely beautiful. This game, generally, people, I'm absolutely amazed with what's going on with the world. When you got high settings, high crowd density, things going on around you. This is the way to experience Cyberpunk. Listen, let me get to my recommendations and conclusion. Do I recommend the 5060 Ti? Yeah, if you're running a similar system, I was running an 8GB card. and I upgraded to a 1440p monitor. Absolutely. In Flight Sim especially, it bumps my frames up and I'm able to get a performance which I was more looking for, and I can bump them up higher, of course, with the new graphics card. I do have to update that CPU. My CPU is now holding back my graphics card grunt, per se. But absolutely recommend it. Keep in mind, people, I've only had it for the past couple of days. Ideally, I would like to review graphics card after I've had them for a few months. And I've got my settings set in. There you go. Thanks for putting the gun away. I've got my settings set in. And, you know, played around with the settings where I'm getting good performance. And ideally update that CPU as well to really unleash the power of the GPU. But so far, so good. What I would say, if you're looking to game and sim, so fly in Flight Sim 2024 at higher resolutions, so 1440p or 4K, you ideally want to be looking at a graphics card with at least 12 gigabytes of memory. At least 12 gigabyte, ideally 16 gigabyte like I've got in this graphics card, or more for higher resolutions. 8 gigabyte is absolutely fine for 1080p. If you're 1080p gaming, you've got a 1080p monitor, you just want to get a bit more performance. The 4060 was absolutely fine and brilliant, in fact, at 1080p. If I was still on a 1080p monitor, I probably wouldn't have updated my graphics card. I want to do a bit more VR stuff, and that will come in later videos. And that's where you should be looking at something like the 5060 Ti at a minimum, and of course if you've got more money you can go for something like the 5080 or 5090, something of that sort, or the AMD equivalent. So what I would say, so far so good. I don't regret buying this graphics card. I can sell my old graphics card and claim some money back on that, making the 5060 Ti an even better bargain. If you can get it for sub £400 or $400, absolutely go for it. It does make a difference. And those are my recommendations so far. Do let me know your thoughts down below. Give this video a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. And I'll see you soon.